Hello and welcome once again to Akuse's blog. Today we are going to prepare grilled tilapia with Kenkey, some green and red pepper sauce. So if you want to know how I got this nice soft and mushy Kenkey, don't go anywhere. Now for our green pepper sauce, we need some spring onion, green bell pepper, green habanero pepper, some ginger and garlic, and then our salt to taste. For the red pepper sauce, we need onion, some tomato, ginger, and our habanero pepper, all in red. We also need our corn husk for our Kenkey, some proteins, and then our corn dough. So we are going to start by washing our corn husk. You have to wash this very well because you don't know who handled it. After, we are going to leave it in water to become soft when it's time to use. Now I'm going to start with the preparation of my fish, so I'm going to wash it. You know, fish are very slimy, so you need to wash it really well, especially with the tilapia. After, I'm going to add more salt. Remember, this is not for seasoning, and then our vinegar to leave it for 5 minutes to soak before I wash it again. I'm doing this to remove all the sliminess and then the fishy smell too. Now don't forget to clean the gills, the inside of the fish, the mouth and the belly part of it too. After I rinse it, and then we are going to re-rinse it in clean water one more time. Set it aside and then make an incision on the belly part of your tilapia. You can cut it in halves too if you want. I'm doing this because I want it well seasoned. After, it's time to season our tilapia, so I'm chopping some garlic, ginger, some onions, and then our green spring onions too. I'm going to add some spices to it. I have my rosemary, all a tablespoonful each, homemade seasoning powder, and then some anise. I'm going to add some cloves and then add 1 star Anise Spice to it, and then my vegetable oil to make the blending smoothly. After, I'm going to set it aside and then start with the seasoning. I'm using 2 tablespoonfuls of my Suya spice. I have the link to how we prepared it below, so check it out. And then my blended spices to it. Now there is salt in my seasoning powder, and then my dark sauce as I'm adding it, so taste after you are done and adjust it accordingly. Now today we are using Suya spice, or Yaaji as we call it in Ghana, to season our fish, and trust me, you will love the result. Make sure to place some at the incision area, put some in the belly part of the fish, inside the gills or the ears, and then don't forget to put some on the mouth too. Leave it overnight, or if you're using it very soon, you can leave it for 30 to 2 hours in the refrigerator before using. After, cover it with your nice cloth or some cling film. Now for the Kenkey, we are going to divide our Kenkey into 3 equal parts. We are going to use 1 part for the flatter or the banku part. Yes. When we are done, we are going to mash the 2 cups left of the Kenkey in our saucepan. I'm doing this because I don't want any lumps in my Kenkey. After, I'm going to add 3 cups of water to mix the 1/3 part of the aflata or the banku part. We are not going to use any corn dough. I added some salt to taste. Remember to use enough for all the Kenkey. You can't add the salt after you are done making the banku. We are going to keep stirring it on low medium heat till it turns into a ball like you see here. Don't leave it when it starts curdling because it will be lumpy. Now when it's smooth, you can add some water to it to make the consistency soft if you want, but then you can leave it and then you do it like this. At this stage, it's done. It's lamb free. There are no lambs in it, so I'm going to add it to my raw corn dough. Now the difference between this and the normal banku is that with this one we want some soundness. Yepese mukeka into no banku de aya na mukeka enye de, but Nkran Dɔkono de sheda mamu ekeka. So I put some of the corn dough at the base of my pan and then added my banku or the flatter part. After I'm adding some of the corn dough to it, at this stage it's really hot, so you don't want to put your hands right inside because you're going to burn yourself, which won't be pleasant at all. So add it little at a time, and then you can leave it afterwards to make it cool down before dipping your hands right inside it. So this is how it looks like. If at this stage it's very dense or is very thick and you don't want it this way, you can add a little bit of water to make it a little bit soft for you. Now it's nice, it's lamb free. If you don't get this stage right, you're going to get a lumpy Kenkey, and nobody would want to eat a lumpy Kenkey too. So after, we are going to divide them into smaller balls like this. Take one of the husk. Make sure to cover it well enough. Don't make it overlap itself, because when you do that, it's going to soak water and you wouldn't like the result at all. So we are going to do this in order to cover it really well. Remember not to overlap the corn husk. After, we are going to twist and turn, create a hole, and then dip the tip of the corn husk right into it like you see here, and then you cover it or mold it again. Now a banku or a Kenkey is done. Now another method is also putting some of the Kenkey or the dough into it. You cover it nicely like you see here. Take the excess part of the corn husk. We don't want any excess. Twist, twist, twist. Create the hole over there. You push the tip right inside it. Now you see the hole created over there. Take some of the Kenkey dough and then you cover it nicely like you see. This way you glued it, and when you cook it, it's not going to come out. Remember not to overlap the leaves. When it's in excess, you just take it out and then you cover it nicely. Twist, twist, twist. Look for the hole and then you push it right in. After, we are going to cradle our pot. Yes, the Kenkey husk nibi ebetu asie, and then you put a Kenkey right on top of it. Now we are doing this because even if it burns, it won't get closer to our Kenkey. Kenkey is well cooked in a normal, that is saying, or a cast iron, so I would prefer that one if that's what you have. Now add enough water, place some of the husk on top of it again to cook it for at least an hour. If the Kenkey is too much, or if you have a lot of Kenkey, make sure to place where the Kenkey or the husk was pushed inside down in a sitting position, and then you arranged all the Kenkey on top of it nicely. Se wo noa na se Kenkey ne dɔɔso a, baby a yɛde ahaban ni shame yɛpia shame no manumum ensi kyɛnsee ni mu na hyehyɛ gu mu kama fefeefe. After, you can add your polythene bag or rubber on top of it and cover it. Allow it to cook on medium heat. Now for our tilapia, I'm greasing my aluminum foil with some butter. You can use oil or vegetable oil or olive oil if that's what you have. And it also goes really well with some coconut oil too. After, I'm going to add my seasoned tilapia in it. Going to cover it and put it in the oven. Grill this at 250 degrees Celsius for at least 35 minutes. after you place it nicely into your oven like you see here. So we will check on our kenkey. We can see that the water is becoming creamier, which means that it's almost done or is getting well cooked. So I'm going to cover it again and then check on the other stuff too. So here is our tilapia, well done at 40 minutes. Yes, I added extra 5 minutes. For the green pepper sauce, we have some green habanero pepper, onion. We are going to add some garlic to it. We are also going to add some ginger, and then our green spring onions and our green bell pepper. We want to use more greens as much as possible. After, I will add my vegetable oil to make the blending smoothly. I love to add vegetable oil when blending my vegetables for stew because it shortens the preparation time. After, I'm going to blend till it's smooth and add my bell pepper again to it because my blender is a little bit smaller, so I have to blend it in little quantities at a time. Now we are checking on it. At this stage, if your water is down or if your water is a little, make sure to add hot water to it at this stage and then cover it again to cook additional minutes before taking it off the fire. So in my saucepan, I place my blended ingredients into it. We have oil already in it, so there's no need for extra oil. I'm going to stir this continuously so the oil separates from the ingredient. I'm adding salt to taste. I'm also going to add my seasoning powder. This is homemade. You can use any seasoning powder or cube of your choice. Remember to use it in moderation too. Now give it a quick stir and allow it to simmer on medium heat till the water separates. Yes, we are going to do separation of powers today. Cover it nicely. Now after some few minutes, this is how it looks like. We are not yet done, so I'm going to give it a quick stir and then cover it again till I see lots of my oil on top of it. And then our shito is done. Make sure not to overcook it because it's going to turn darker green or even black, and I don't want that color. I want it nice like you see here, very green, and then I'll take it off the fire. It's done at this stage. For the final part, you can use your ayowa or tapoli, but I am going to use the blender today because I'm really tired after a long day, and it's going to give the same results. You don't add any water to it, just blend it in your blender and you are good to go. It tastes same like you use your asanka or your potoyowa, and then it's also very heavy or thick like you see over there. Just add your salt to taste, and then you are going to garnish your food and it's ready to be eaten. Going to garnish it with some tomato and then some onions so that those who do not like a lot of heat can just munch on the tomatoes when it's becoming too hot or spicy for them. Now we are done with our cake. Just look at it. Look at how soft, mushy and nice it is. So enjoy with your family. Thank you, lovely people, for watching my video. Don't forget to share me out, comment, subscribe, invite your friends and family to become part of this family. Till we see each other next time, it's bye-bye.